Hey everyone, today I just have a quick stretch and de-stress 20-minute flow for you. What you'll need is a wall and a pillow, and you can have a yoga strap or just a regular belt if you need those options. We're going to start in child's pose, opening the knees as wide as you'd like and placing the head down on the mat. And then begin to shift side to side, rocking your weight from the right to the left, warming up your hips. And your head will just roll, your forehead will roll on the mat side to side here. Then come to center and hold, taking nice full deep breaths, allowing your shoulders a little bit of time to open up here. Just keep breathing and relaxing here as I talk you through what's going to happen next. So when I cue you, you're going to dive your head forward, lift it up to an upward facing dog. And here we go. Head goes forward, press into your arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift to an up dog, and begin to shift side to side, right to left, allowing your hips to wiggle and your head to look over your shoulders. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, pull the hips back, come back into your child's pose. And we'll repeat that snake again. Head goes up and through, upward facing dog. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift your head. Try to get the chest even higher up to the ceiling as you lift and press through your arms. And then hip shift back to a tabletop position. Walk your hands out as far as they'll go. Hug your belly button in and your ribs closed. Place your forehead down on the mat. And try to open your armpits down towards the floor. Your hips will stay high, your toes can untuck, and you really want to think about pulling the ribs in and up so the opening is happening in the shoulder joint rather than in your lower back. So we don't want a big dip in the lower back here. We want the shoulders to be pressing and opening, and that happens better when we're hugging the belly button and the ribs in towards our spine. Walk your hands back and come into a tabletop position. Now grab your pillow, place it right next to the wall. Your left leg is going to go onto the pillow and your knee will be touching the wall. Step your right leg forward and scoot your toes far forward so they're in front of your fingertips. Drop your left hip down to the mat and lift your chest up as you sink your hip down to stretch. You can stay on your hands, or if you have more range of motion, you can drop down onto your elbows. Relax your head down. We'll hold this for about a minute, really starting to work into the front of our legs or our quad muscles here. Remember, your deep breath will help you to relax into the stretch, so continue to breathe and allow your head to hang heavy. Your legs should be 90 degrees up to the wall. So we're trying not to rotate our hip open, and our knee to our ankle should be 90 degrees with the wall. Having the wall there just helps to get a little deeper into the front quad muscle. Walk yourself back up with your hands, leave your back leg where it is, and you'll reach around with your right arm to try to grab your left toes. If that is not going to happen today, grab your belt or your strap and wrap it around your foot. You just have to loop it around your foot, and then you can slide your hand out as far as it needs to go to be able to just give a little pressure to pull that foot in towards you. If you can reach your foot, take it with your hand, start to sink down even deeper, and you can choose to just hold there as you sink, or you can bend your elbow and pull in towards your heel, in towards your bum. Whichever option feels better for you today, go ahead and take that. This is just a nice way to stretch out our legs. And we should be looking back over our right shoulder into that twist. And release, return to your center. And shift your weight back. Step your right leg in closer towards you. Move your left heel out from your bum. Press firmly with your right leg and try to place your whole back onto the wall. Your lower back might be a little bit off. Keep trying to tuck under and press your lower back into the wall behind you. This will really get a good stretch through the front of your quad. If you cannot get all the way flat against the wall, don't worry about it right now. Just do the best that you can and sink back. Now release back down, hands onto the mat, wiggle that foot back in front of you, and we will turn it out so we're rolling onto the outside edge of our leg. Now the more in your foot is towards your bum, the less stretch. The more square and 90 degrees out it is in front of you, the more stretch. So you choose what's right for you. You'll square your hips off to the front of your mat, and you'll walk your hands forward. You may just be able to come up onto your elbows or drop down to your elbows. That's fine. Either go elbows or all the way down. Really working to keep square in the hips. You'll want to lift that your left hip up, but try to push the left hip down to square everything off. And you should still have that 90 degree from your knee to your toe, as much as you can get on that left leg. We'll hold here again for about a minute, breathing deeply, stretching through the front of the body. Walk yourself all the way back up. Reach back with your left hand and take a hold of your toes. If that doesn't happen, you can wrap the strap around your foot and bend and just pull the foot in towards you. If you can, grab the foot, try to shift your hips back down to the floor so they're square, and pull the foot in towards you as you try to lift up through your back. So you're trying to sit up nice and tall as you pull that back foot in towards you, starting to work on stretching through our back now and our spine as well. Keep breathing deeply, and we'll release the toe, and we're going to move. If you can't do this, you can stay holding onto the toe. Otherwise, grab your toe and rotate your fingertips forward. Try to point your elbow back behind you. And it's really hard here if you have tight quads to get your hips square. Just do your best to point them down towards the floor. And now you can stay there. Again, we're going to move a little bit deeper here. We can also take this option with the strap. So with this strap, you would wrap it around your toes. You would pull back and then reach over your head to take your elbow and try to push the elbow back behind your head. If you don't need the strap, we can move into a mermaid here. So we'll tuck the toes into the crook of our elbow, reach our opposite arm up and over our head, and then we'll try to separate our arms away from each other as we lift and grab our fingers together. And we'll try to you can play around with making a bigger circle with your arms and getting kind of shifting to get more rotation in your leg. And we'll release whatever you have and come on to all fours. In our tabletop, we'll shift our hips right and left, side to side. Just releasing out, taking a little breather here. Move your pillow to the other side so it will be under your right knee. Place your right knee right on top of it, right next to the wall, 90-degree angle from your knee to your ankle. Left foot will step forward and you'll wiggle those toes as far as you can. Your fingertips should be behind your heel. Sink your back hip down so you have nice long hip flexor, no crease in your right hip flexor. Again, you're welcome to stay on your hands, or if you have range of motion, you can drop down to your elbows. Allow your head to release down, and we will hold and breathe here for about a minute in this really deep blaster hip stretch. Again, work to get that 90-degree angle where your hip isn't opening and your knee isn't starting to shift to the side and your toes start to shift to the side. See if you can make a 90-degree angle from your knee all the way up to your toes. Sink down towards the mat. Really open up through your hips and your quad here. Keep breathing. Not too much longer here. Walk yourself back up. Reach around with your left hand to grab your toes. Again, if you can't reach and touch your toes, take your strap and wrap it and pull the foot in towards you. Sink down with the hip. Again, you can have the option to pull that foot in towards your bum more, or you can lengthen it out to the wall. They just get a little different areas. So have a little play today. Decide what feels good to you. As you stretch through your legs, get a little twist through your spine. Return to your center. Shift your weight back. Step your left leg in closer towards you. Your hands will come onto your knee. You'll move your left heel out of the way and we'll press our back onto the wall behind us, trying to lengthen through the whole back, especially through the lower back. It'll want to tilt forward. Your pelvis will want to tilt. Try to tuck your pelvis so you can get as much of your back onto the wall as possible. Keep breathing as you press firmly with your front leg into your back leg to get a nice deep stretch. Again, if your hands are on your knee and you're not touching the wall, that's okay. Release down, and we will come into that pigeon pose where you come onto the side of your leg. Again, remember, if it's closer to you, less intense. Further away, more 90 degrees, more intense. Try to square the hips. Either come down onto your elbows or walk all the way down so your arms are straight. Place your head on the mat. Try to keep your knee pointed straight up, your toes right above it in a 90-degree angle. And you might notice that one side is more tight than the other side. This side for me is much more tight than my other side, so it's a little more difficult for me to square my hips. Work on getting both hips down to the mat. Even if it doesn't happen today, just know where we're aiming and what we're shooting for. Walk yourself back up. Reach back with your right hand, take your right toes, bend that foot in towards you. A little bit more stretch and try to sit your back up tall. Keep working to square the hips down and turn them right right in front of you so they're nice and square to the front of the mat, or as square as you can make them today. Now again, we're going to go into the next where we turn the fingertips forward and point the elbow behind us. If that doesn't work for you, just stay in the stretch we had before. Keep sinking down through those hips. This is much tighter for me here, so I have to really remember to breathe and relax. Move into that mermaid stretch. Again, first option is to take your strap and wrap it around your toes. Bend the elbow and then reach your other arm up and overhead to take a hold of the elbow and try to pull the elbow back behind you. Option 2 is the full mermaid, where we will put the toes into the crook of the elbow. We'll reach up and over our head. Left arm will grab right arm. And we'll open up, trying to make as big of O as possible in the arms. Trying to square the hips and lift up through the belly and stack our shoulders over our hips as much as we can. Keep breathing and smiling. This is mermaid pose. You should feel beautiful here. And let's release everything down. Come back onto our hands and our knees. Take those shifts from side to side again. Let the hips release. Move your pillow out of the way. Come up and walk your hands back towards your feet in a forward fold. You can bend your knees. This is just to help release, so don't worry about taking a big, deep stretch here. With your bum against the wall, see if you can roll yourself all the way up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders back behind you 5 times. Releasing them out and reverse, roll them forward 5 times. We're going to start moving into the shoulders against the wall here. We'll turn around and we'll come about arm's distance away from the wall. Our feet will be separated slightly. Hands will come onto the wall. Again, we want to tuck our ribs in towards us, pull through, try to tuck the tailbone under, and we're going to do 10 little pulses, shifting the chest towards the wall as we pulse down, down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Pull the ribs in. 4, 3, 2. Hold it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We pulse 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Shake your shoulders, your head out. We'll place the left hand onto the wall. Rotate our feet to the right and press into the wall as you open the chest and twist to the side. We'll do about a 30-second hold here, pushing into the wall and trying to open the chest in the opposite direction. It should really start to work and wake up through your forearm as well as into your chest on the front, your pectoral muscles on the front of your body. And we'll switch to the other side. Right hand goes on. Rotate. Twist to the left as you press into the wall and twist away from it with your upper body. 30-second approximate hold here. Keep breathing and stretching through, opening up through your chest. This will come in handy when we do our last little back bend of the day, having the chest and the back nice and open. Release, come towards the wall, walk your hands up the wall again, and this time allow your chest to fall onto the wall. Your tailbone will tilt back as much as you can as you try to lift your chin and look up between your hands with your chest pressed against the wall as much as you can. It's really hard to breathe here. Do your very best to keep your breath as even as you can. If you have lots of range of motion, you can even sink your chest further down. Release, come all the way back up. And we're going to go about a hand's or an arm's distance away from the wall. Our feet will separate about hip distance apart. Fingertips will come onto our back with our fingers pointed up towards the ceiling. Try to hug your elbows in towards each other as you lift your chest. Then lift your head. Push your hips forward as you start to bend back as far as you're comfortable with. Allow your head to look back behind you. Not all the way down, just about halfway or less. And use your stomach muscles to pull you all the way back up to standing. Lift your arms up above your head. We're trying to open the chest. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest up to the ceiling first. Then push into your hips. Push them forward as you reach back and try to touch your fingertips to the wall and allow your head to release. Engage your belly and lift all the way back up to standing. You have that option to do that exact same thing again. If you want to go deeper, you can go into a full back bend, squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the chest, dropping the head back as you press the hips forward. Walk your hands down the wall as low as you'd like. You don't have to go all the way down. I like to put my head down so I feel controlled, and then my palms will come flat onto the mat. Lift up onto my toes, and then try to press my chest flat onto the wall. I don't have enough opening in my shoulders and my chest yet to get it flat to the wall. You may, which is awesome. And then when you're ready, walk yourself back up all the way to standing. And very slowly round your back forward. It might feel really intense here to stretch it forward. Just let it release. Take your time, bend your knees. This is more for opening in your back after we've done that really deep back bend and chest opener. Rock side to side. Let yourself just hang. Bend the knees as much as you need. And then come down onto your mat, nice and slowly. Sink back into a child's pose. Reach your arms in front of you. You may open your knees as far apart as you would like here. Taking a counter stretch, rounding through that lower back, releasing out any last little bit of tension from that deep, deep back bend. Breathing deeply. Roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Just place your hands together at your heart. Thank you so much for this quick practice. Hope you feel better. Hope you have a great day.